Hey world out there. So recently, as in this last week, I did a strategy with my students that was a huge hit, incredibly successful with 5 classes. So the strategy is called World Cafe. And this involves a lot of movement, a lot of collaboration. The students, they read, write, listen, um, talk to each other. The big thing is that they talk to each other and collaborate. So what I did is to hook my students for World War II, which we just started. I took a whole bunch of pictures, political cartoons and actual pictures that I printed off, and then I put them into categories. So we had the category of Holocaust, Rise of the Nazis, Manhattan Project, Pearl Harbor, Japanese internment. Okay, so this is what I did. So we've been analyzing photos, illustrations, political cartoons, charts, that kind of stuff all year. So this is a skill I really honed in on, and one they're very comfortable with. So what I did was I set up my stations in groups, and I had a little folder, and in that folder I had at least 10 pictures or so. And then it was labeled like Japanese internment, Manhattan Project. And under that folder of images was butcher paper. And then I just, tossed a bunch of markers in each station. So this was my instruction to my 7th graders. They had 5 minutes to analyze at least one image. Now, if they were done analyzing the first image, they would move on to the second one. They had to immediately choose at least one writer. All of them needed to contribute. They all needed to look at that image, whatever image they chose first, and they needed to talk about what they notice, what's obvious that they notice, what questions they have that could help them figure out what's going on in that picture. And then finally, trying to use their background knowledge from previous units, or what they already know, to try to make sense out of the picture, to try to figure out what was going on, or if it was like a political cartoon, what was the deeper message behind it. And as they are having this conversation, the note taker is writing on the butcher paper. So they only had 5 minutes, and they had to choose a host. So the job of the host was really important, and everyone ended up having, everyone was going to be a host at least once, if not twice. So the job of the host was, when those 5 minutes were up, and there was a little siren that went off, right? Because I had the timer and the siren went off. When the siren went off, the host would stay, and the other 3 students would move to the next station. So now we have a new group. All right, so when the timer goes off, the 3 students move to their next station with their new host. The host stays, right? Watches the 3 students leave. They stay. 3 new students sit down, and then when I say ready, set, go, and I start my timer for 5 minutes for this next round, the host, their job is to hold up that picture, and they can use the notes that were taken by the writer if they want to, and just briefly, we're talking 30 seconds. Hey, so we went over this image. This is what we, concluded what was probably going on in this image. And what now we're going to move on to another one. So then they picked a new picture and engaged in a new conversation surrounding that picture with a new writer or writers that were documenting what the conversation, big highlights from the conversation. And then the timer went off, a new host stays, the other 3 move. So then we have groups that are constantly like changing, right? And the kids absolutely love this. We basically, if we could get this done in about 35 to 40 minutes. It kept them moving. I heard massive collaboration. I was going around talking to students and listening to their conversations. They were highly engaged, very excited to look at the images, very excited to talk to each other. So at the end, I said, okay, so this is our last station. And this is a really important station because your group needs to decide on one one image that you want to give me, so that we can explore as a whole group under the doc cam. And I can actually reveal, or maybe another student can reveal if they know. I'd rather them do it if they know what truly is going on in this image. And so that's how I kind of wrapped it up. And then the students were really, really excited. I had students who were like, no, let's analyze mine first. I really got to know what this shadow means. I got to know what this means. I got to know what happened to to these kids, that were behind behind the barbed wire fence. Did they survive? Are they, is this Auschwitz? I got to know. It was very exciting for me to see how excited they were about learning. And what I loved is that they got to explore this really can be complicated and kind of heavy content, without me, right? Their first viewing of this, their first engagement of this was with each other, and I think that is made this really special to them. And I've already started on the actual unit, right? We started at the very end of World War One with the Tree of Versailles, and the engagement from them is, I mean, they are really, really hyped right now. And so it's made my job, well, it's made everything, when they're excited to learn, it makes me excited to teach. And so this was the most amazing hook. I got everyone to talk about the content. I got everyone super engaged. It got them moving. So they were still, I mean, you get up and move. And some students chose to like stand by their chair, but they were still very much a part of their group, a part of the conversation, a part of the civil discourse. But they could still stand, move. I asked the kids at the end, would you rather do the gallery walk, right, where I put up pictures all around the room, and you have your little clipboard or you have your marker and you go around and you make little comments either, near the picture or on your clipboard? Or would you rather do this? And 100% of all of my students wanted to do World Cafe. Again, highly engaging. The kids were collaborating. They were on a mission to solve the mystery of these pictures, using prior knowledge and educating each other. And then they were really excited to start the unit with me and to figure out if the predictions they made, the conversations, all that stuff, how close were they to getting it right. So uh, super successful with 5 classes, and there was like 150 students that all gave this 2 thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next video.